Hi guys, this is a continuation of our first video, Python and Phonics. Here we'll be going over some more basics of Python and teaching you guys some more phonics as well.
So today we're going to be learning about comparison operators, the six main types, some flow control statements like if, elif, and else statements, while loops, and break statements, and we'll also be going over the global scope and local scope.
So first we have comparison operators. So this is a table of all the different operators and the operator names. So first we have less than, which is this symbol right here. And then we have greater than, and then less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, which is two equal signs, and not equal to, which is an exclamation mark, and then an equal sign. Here are some examples using comparison operators. So first we have 4 is less than 5, which is a true statement, so true is outputted. Then we have the statement 4 is greater than 5, which is false. 4 is less than or equal to 5, which is true. 4 is greater than equal to 5, which is false. 4 equals 5, which is false. And then 4 is not equal to 5, which is true.
Okay, flow control statements. So for if, elif, and else statements are flow control statements. The I in if makes the short I sound pronounced like if. Other examples with the short I sound are the words pig, chip, and igloo. So an if statement has a condition, and if the condition is true, then the code beneath it will execute. An elif statement is another if statement that's below the original, and it'll also execute if it's true. But an else statement is the last option, and if the conditions in the if and elif statements above were false, then the code underneath the else statement will automatically be executed. So here's an example. Here we set k is equal to 100 and j is equal to 50. So the first if statement is j greater than k, and since that's false, the print statement below that will not execute. Then it'll skip straight to the elif statement. It checks if j is equal to k. Since 50 and 100 are not equal, that'll also skip, and it'll go straight to the else statement, and it won't check anything else. It'll just automatically do the command, which is print k is the larger number.
So now we're going to talk about while loops. The I in while makes the long I sound pronounced like I. Other examples with the long I sound are the words spider, night, and pie. While loops are used to repeatedly execute code for a number of times until a certain condition is met. So here's an example. So we first set x equal to 0 and then y equal to 3. And then while x is not equal to y, we're printing x. And then we're incrementing x by 1. So it'll go through this loop a total of 3 times. And then once x is equal to y, it will terminate from the loop. And break statements. So the EA in break makes the long A sound pronounced like A. Other examples with the long A sound are the words bay, made, and straight. Break statements are used to exit out of a loop and move to the code after the loop. So this is a similar example to the last one where x is 0 and y is equal to 3. And while x is not equal to y, we're printing x and we're still incrementing x. But if x is equal to 2, we're breaking out of the loop. So the loop runs 2 times, and then when x equals 2, it goes into this if block right here, and then it will automatically exit from the while loop.
Okay, global and local scope. So the O in scope makes the long O sound pronounced like O. Other examples with the long O sound are the words open, moat, and bone. So there are 2 types of variables, global variables and local variables. The scope of global variables is the entire program, which means they can be accessed and used anywhere in the program, whereas the scope of local variables is limited to the function where it's defined. They can only be accessed in that function. Here's an example. So you can see a is equal to 10. That's a global variable since it's outside the function. And we define a function here, func. And inside that function is b is equal to 20 and c is equal to 30. And these are local variables, so they can only be called and accessed inside the function. Below that, outside the function again, are two print statements. And here you can see in the output, when we ask to print A, which is the global variable, it'll print out 10. But when we try to print out B, it'll give us an error since it can't access what's inside the function. So here's a recap of the phonics we learned today. We went over the short I sound, which is the short I sound in if, which is pronounced if, the long I sound in while, which is pronounced I, the long A sound in break, which is pronounced A, and the long O sound in scope, which is pronounced O. So thank you guys for watching the video, and we hope you learned new things about Python today.